Welcome to BDO World Hockey. In this edition, Australia's golden goal scorer, Grant Schubert, takes us out on the water. India's lament, so much talent, so little to show for it. And the new challenge for Argentina's master coach, Sergio Vigil.
But first, celebrations in Amsterdam for Pakistan, who showed at the Rabo Trophy event that they are capable of beating any team in the world. In the final against Australia, the Olympic gold medalists scored first when Robbie Hammond's midfield pass found Travis Brooks in the 9th minute. But Pakistan will level just 6 minutes later through Imran Varsi. The Aussies looked the stronger team and regained the lead through Grant Schubert in the 24th minute. But Pakistan drew level again just 3 minutes before half-time. Shakil Abbasi's strong work on the right, setting up Adnan Zakir. Then, on the cusp of half-time, Australia's penalty corner variation fell to Ben Bishop. It was a challenge for Pakistan, but one the green shirts met in style just 7 minutes after the break, coming back to 3-all with a strong reverse stick strike from Rehan Butt.
Dat is een knappe goal. 3-3.
And they took the lead with 20 minutes remaining when the Kookaburras defence allowed too much space for Mudassar Ali Khan. Australia had plenty of chances, but Pakistan held firm at the back, led by their goalkeeper Salman Akbar. And so it was Pakistan by 4 goals to 3 to claim their first trophy since the 1994 World Cup in Sydney.
And the Rabo Trophy final gave Dutch fans a chance to congratulate their women's team on its recent win in the European Nations Championship in Dublin. The Dutch ladies beat Germany 2-1 in the final to qualify for next year's World Cup. Marte Schiepstra was named player of the tournament. In other results, England defeated Spain 4-0 to take 3rd place. Ireland beat Ukraine 4-1 for 5th place, and Scotland thumped France 5-0 to take 7th place in the 8-team competition.
The Men's European Championship saw Spain consolidate its position as a top 6 nation, beating the Netherlands 4-2 in the final in Leipzig, while the hosts Germany thrashed Belgium 9-1 for 3rd place. In the battle for 5th, France beat England on penalty strokes after it had been 2-all at full time, while Poland beat Scotland in similar fashion to decide 7th and 8th.
And in Singapore, India's women's team has won the island nation's invitation tournament. The Indian women, winners of the Commonwealth Games in 2002, had a 3-all draw with Korea and recorded wins over Malaysia and Singapore. The men's event was won by Malaysia, who defeated Korea and Singapore and fought a 4-all draw with tournament hopefuls Hong Kong. The Singapore Hockey Federation plans to run the tournament as an annual event as part of its 8-year program to take its men's and women's programs into the top 16 of the world rankings. Once the dominant force in world hockey, it's been a long time since India has tasted success at the highest level. Their last Olympic success was Moscow in 1980, in a competition weakened by boycotts. And although India won the Junior World Cup in 2001, their senior team has struggled. 7th in Athens and a disappointing 4th in the last 3 Champions Trophy events. In Lahore last year, India's coach was German Gerhard Ruck, who complained at the time of having no video operator and no specialist medical and support staff, such as a sports doctor and nutritionist. At one stage, he was phoning a friend in Germany to ask for descriptions of television replays. He was sacked. Still, India have some of the most exciting and talented players in the world. But what was once the cradle of men's hockey is now a sleeping giant. Our cameras were with India when they finished 7th in the Rabo Trophy in Holland. While 7 of the 8 teams had video and computer analysis at the ground and available instantly, India had none. As most coaches took reports from observers high in the stands, Rajinder Singh had his goalkeeping coach Romeo James with no electronic communication, having to shout his message or simply make notes of his observations and then walk back to the bench. It's now an almost universal requirement that coaching staff at the top level of the sport are equipped with technology that allows them to analyse a game and make changes when they're needed. Two-way radio communication is commonplace, as is the use of mobile phones between coaches and their assistants. Even India's fans have them. Video replays and instant analysis or post-match reviews can be the difference between winning and losing.
Now here in the counter-attack, we obviously want you to get back as quickly as possible.
Yet India seem unable or unwilling to give their coaches the tools they need to be competitive. It leaves the players and the coach with little to do but offer excuses.
From the beginning, we played well, but missed chances. Today we played well, but made mistakes in the end. We made mistakes in all the matches. We'll correct our mistakes.
Hockey काफी चेंज हो चुकी है क्योंकि अभी जैसे दूसरी टीमें खेल रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया हॉलैंड वगैरह खेल रही तो
Hockey has changed. Australia and Holland displayed fast and tough hockey. In India, in the domestic circuit, it is not so tough. That is a disadvantage. We have played here and will see video analysis of the games and need to play tough hockey. It's a new trend.
They'll obviously have to wait to see the video analysis. And with the Champions Trophy in Chennai only weeks away, India needs to adapt to the new trend and to technology sooner rather than later. But Rajinder Singh remains optimistic about his chances in Chennai.
We had 26 players in the squad. This is the best team out of those. We started well, but continued missing chances. If you miss so many chances at international level, you'll put pressure on your team. We are playing well, but still experienced defenders make mistakes, leading to goals. So I think it is unfortunate we can't trap. And we miss chances in the shooting circle. Junior team members are being rested by the federation. If 5 or 6 of those players are included, the team will be more balanced.
Coming up on BDO World Hockey, Kiwi star Darren Smith out on the water, as is Australian Olympic gold medalist Grant Schubert. And Sergio Vigil, from leading Las Leonas to the new mentor for men's hockey in Argentina.
When deciding how to play, the coach needs to consider the capabilities, strengths and weaknesses of the players available. I believe you should develop a way of playing that complements the group by making the most of their strengths and covering their weaknesses. You make a mistake if you are too rigidly attached to a way of playing that does not take into account the individual's abilities, their desires and the mentality of the group. Also, while outlining the boundaries and guidelines of your structure, you should always leave room for individual expression of talent. This will give your team unpredictability, which is indispensable if you aim to surprise your opponents.
Darren Smith knows his way around a hockey pitch, and so he should. Not only does he represent a leading pitch maker, the New Zealand vice-captain has played almost 200 international games. He's also a development officer for the sport in New Zealand. At 31, Smith has been part of the backbone of the Black Sticks and was in the team that qualified for last year's Champions Trophy, only to lose that right by finishing last. Like their women's team, they now have to qualify again through the Champions Challenge in 2007.
I think it's important for both New Zealand teams to be competing at the top level, and that means the top 6, and it also means going to the World Cups and the Olympic Games and finishing inside the top 6, and then going to Champions Trophy and retaining our right to play there. And I think New Zealand has high playing numbers and a good development pool, and that's where we deserve to be, and it's vital for our country to keep our profile and our funding alive.
Smith says there's also a need for the Kiwis to bring on some of their younger players.
I mean, we've got guys like Ryan Archibald and Phil Burrows and Dean Cousins that are all 24 and they've played nearly 100 tests, if not 100 tests, and they're still young guys and they're experienced. And you add in, the players that are coming from the under-21s that'll make their debut. I think there's a good group that'll take New Zealand forward.
And Smith firmly believes that New Zealand hockey has what it takes to go all the way, as they did when they won Olympic gold in Montreal way back in 1976.
Play in the second half. Ireson puts it in the goal for New Zealand.
And when he's not working, travelling or playing, Darren Smith has found another pastime.
I had a mate that was right into it, and when you water ski or wakeboard or whatever, you've got to have 3 people on the boat because you need to have a driver and you've got to have a spotter, or else you get in trouble with the law if you don't. And so he was always nagging me to come out, and initially I wasn't really into it, but then I gave it a bit of a crack and got a bit addicted. It's good, and like getting onto the boat and having good people on the boat and having a yarn is just as much fun as getting out the back and getting your rhythm and relaxing on the water. So I mean, I just enjoy it. I enjoy getting away from the weekend and sitting around and having a couple of beers and taking it easy.
The Netherlands retain top spot in the Sahara World Hockey Women's Rankings after their win in the Champions Trophy tournament in Rosario last November. Argentina hold second spot and are within striking distance of the Dutch in 2005. Australia hold the third ranking, while China are fourth thanks to their semi-final appearance at the Athens Olympics. Germany, the Olympic champions, are in fifth place in the rankings, but within striking distance of third. And New Zealand's win at Virginia Beach keeps the Black Sticks in sixth place. Korea currently hold position 7, ahead of England in 8th place. Japan edge up 1 place to 9th, and Spain slip down 1 rank to 10th. There's no change in the order of the men's rankings. Germany remain on top, with Australia in 2nd place and the Netherlands 3rd. But any of the 3 top teams can take top spot later this year when all the teams meet in Chennai. 4th place is held by Pakistan, with a clear lead over 5th placed India, although a win at home in Chennai would be worth another 300 points to the Asian champions. Spain are in 6th place as a result of their win in Lahore last year. Korea are 7th in the world after their silver medal in the Champions Challenge event in April, while Argentina, who won that challenge, have moved into position 8. New Zealand hold on to 9th place, and England round out the men's top 10.
They call him Cacho or Cachito. Literally translated to English, it means little one. But there is nothing little about Sergio Vijal's achievements in hockey. He's now coaching Argentina's men's team, but as the much-loved coach of Argentina's women's team, Vigil took Las Leonas to an Olympic final in Sydney and to victories in the 2001 Champions Trophy and the 2002 World Cup. They won bronze at the Athens Olympics and the 2004 Champions Trophy, Vigil's last campaign with the women's team and a time of great emotion. There was talk of Vigil being contracted to coach a wealthy club in Spain or even moving to football, but his heart was always in Argentina and in hockey.
After finishing with the girls, I had nothing planned regarding hockey, and I wanted to take some time off, at least until May or June 2006, to define my future in connection with hockey. My wish has always been to stay in Argentina. Of course, I also studied the possibility and offers from abroad, but in my head I wanted to continue in Argentina. I do not know in what role, but doing a project in Argentina, of course related to hockey, right?
That project is to take Argentina's men's team to the same level as the women's, to the top bracket of the world rankings.
I always admired this group of young men and their coaching teams. And well, I had the chance to become part of it. It was a challenge that I decided to face together with the coaching team that you can see now. And the truth is, I'm really willing to do it.
Before Vigil made his decision, the Pumas this year had won the Champions Challenge in Egypt and had qualified for the Champions Trophy in the World Cup in 2006. The young Pumas then won the Junior World Cup in Rotterdam. It's a strong foundation on which the new coach wants to build.
I'm a fanatic of continuity because I believe that a team, a company, can get really high if it can take advantage of the foundations and each of the bricks the previous players, coaching teams and officials have laid. So I believe in continuity. I believe in continuing, adding bricks to the structure. I consider that every player and every coaching team is a link within a great continuous chain of growth.
Vigil works his squad hard, early mornings, long training sessions. But as a former national player and coach, he firmly believes that results will only come from hard work and unity of purpose.
I believe that the greatest goal we have is the day-to-day. The day-to-day in training, the day-to-day in that coexistence in training, the day-to-day in the illusion with which we face every training session. After that comes each game, and then each tournament, and then the great tournaments. Of course, the dream is that Argentina becomes a world power.
Sergio Vigil believes strongly in dreams, but he also believes in reality. And he knows that to make his dream become reality, he has to make hockey attractive for children in Argentina, so that the sport can increase its player base.
The challenge will be to travel throughout the country and fill kids with enthusiasm for this sport, which is fabulous. But that is going to be the big secret and the great challenge, how to achieve that, an increasing number of kids practicing this sport. If we can meet that challenge, we will certainly be close to another great challenge, taking male hockey to the top. And there is another challenge, that Argentine hockey, female and male, becomes the #1 country worldwide. But to do that, we need to make kids from all over the country want to play hockey. We have some things in mind, and I think that is the great challenge.
Tenemos algunas cosas pensadas y creo que ese es el gran desafío.
Elder's got it back again. Up in the air off an Indian stick. Play allowed to go on. Chance here, goal! And Schubert breaks the deadlock.
The last 3 years have been an amazing journey for Australia's strike forward Grant Schubert. He left his family and friends in Adelaide in 2003 to join a development squad in Perth on Australia's west coast. He was picked to join the main squad for the Champions Trophy that same year.
Lovely ball across. Oh, great finish. Schubert with no time to think this time, Rick.
A decision the Aussies are glad they made. The South Australian scoring 9 times in 6 games in his first major tournament, topping it off with the trophy for Player of the Future. Since then, he's become a regular member of the Kookaburras and was part of the gold medal team in Athens last year.
Look, it was an amazing feeling, and you know, for not just the 16 guys that were there, but the 24 guys that were in the squad for the whole 6 months leading up to the Olympics, it was an amazing feeling, and to finally see that goal go in that Jamie hit was an amazing feeling, and just something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
The Aussies chose not to compete in last year's Champions Trophy in Lahore, but will be there in Chennai in December, and Grant Schubert expects the competition to be tough.
Any one of the teams are there, as has been shown over the last, many years, that any team that comes out well on the days can beat any other team in those probably top 7 or 8 teams in the world. So, teams like Spain, they're always really strong with their fast forwards, and they're becoming a real good team in world hockey. But the Pakistani teams and the Dutch and the Germans, they're all going to be strong when it comes to Chennai in India.
And beyond Chennai, there's the Commonwealth Games, the World Cup, and then another Olympic Games, and the dream of a second gold medal in Beijing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's my next main, my next main sort of goal. I guess over the 4-year period, we usually talk sort of in 4-year periods with hockey between each Olympics, and that's one that I really want to get to, and hopefully, we do just as well as we did in Athens, and we'll see what happens from there, I guess.
The road to gold starts and finishes with fitness, in the gym and out on the training track. A typical week as one of Australia's premier athletes is a pretty busy one, with aerobic training, practice sessions and hours in the gym.
Do you feel like giving up?
Yeah, you do sometimes, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and the Olympics and all that sort of stuff, that you want to strive for. So, this is something that always keeps you going.
When he's not training, Grant Schubert can be found pursuing one of his other passions in life, water skiing. And there's no better place to do that than by the scenic banks of Perth's Swan River.
Before we go, let's take a look at the international calendar. And on the list of major events, the BDO Women's Junior World Cup is being played in Santiago this month. We'll have a full report in the next edition of BDO World Hockey. The Samsung Women's Champions Trophy is scheduled for Canberra in late November. And the Sahara Men's Champions Trophy will be played in Chennai in December. The Africa Cup tournaments for men and women will be held in Pretoria in October. South Africa is the defending champion in both the men's and women's competitions. The Oceania Cup events will be held in late October and November, with a women's tie a best-of-3 test series between Australia and New Zealand. Fiji will host the men's event.
And last month we told you about the junior competition run by the Wolves Hockey Club in Western Australia, with more than 700 young players involved every weekend. If your club can show us a bigger gathering of young players in one place at the same time, please send an email to bdoworldhockey@worldhockey.org and we'll send our cameras to you.
Coming up next month on BDO World Hockey, the Champions Trophy. The world's top women's teams get set to do battle in Canberra, while the men prepare for Chennai in India.